Nobody wants to say that, but I'll say it right now.
Controversial comments at Trump Tower as the president says there's another side to the story in Charlottesville. Good evening. I'm Maurice Dubois.
And I'm Christine Johnson. CBS 2's Jessica Layton is following the latest on the Trump presidency. She is live outside Trump Tower, where the president made the impromptu statements. Jessica.
Yeah, Christine and Maurice, another wave of controversy facing the president, this time for those comments that he made inside the lobby of Trump Tower today. Now, while he did condemn white supremacist groups, he also once again said that both sides are to blame for that violence that erupted in Charlottesville.
Great to be back in New York with all of our friends.
After meeting with advisors at Trump Tower about overhauling the nation's infrastructure, a conversation with reporters turned contentious during a news conference when President Trump was once again pressed about his response to the deadly weekend violence in Virginia.
The statement I made on Saturday, the first statement, was a fine statement, but you don't make statements that direct unless you know the fact. It takes a little while to get the facts. You still don't know the facts.
Monday, the president condemned the actions of white supremacists, calling out groups by name. Just over 24 hours later, he was back to saying both sides were to blame for the events in Charlottesville that have shaken the nation.
You had a group on one side that was bad, and you had a group on the other side that was also very violent. And nobody wants to say that, but I'll say it right now. You had a group on the other side that came charging in without a permit, and they were very, very violent.
Calling him a murderer and disgrace to the country, President Trump denounced the actions of the man behind the wheel of the car that plowed into a group of counter-protesters, killing a woman. But he continued to point fingers at the so-called alt-right and alt-left for the chaos, saying many were simply there to protest the removal of a Confederate statue from a public park.
Many of those people were there to protest the taking down of the statue of Robert E. Lee. So, this week it's Robert E. Lee. I noticed that Stonewall Jackson's coming down. I wonder, is it George Washington next week, and is it Thomas Jefferson the week after?
After the news conference, former KKK leader David Duke tweeted, "Thank you, President Trump, for your honesty and courage to tell the truth about Charlottesville and condemn the leftist terrorists." But the backlash continues. Yesterday, the CEOs of Merck, Under Armour, and Intel quit the president's advisory panel on manufacturing. Then today, Scott Paul of the Alliance for American Manufacturing stepped down, while two representatives from the AFL-CIO said, "We cannot sit on a council for a president who tolerates bigotry and domestic terrorism." In response to those quitting the council, the president tweeted, "For every CEO that drops out of the Manufacturing Council, I have many to take their place." President Trump heads back to his home in Bedminster, New Jersey sometime tomorrow. We're live in Midtown. Jessica Layton, CBS 2 News.